If not, I will ask Alex if he's agree with that, or if you want to add something about not only changes in the Russian media, but let's say across the world, especially in Europe, of course.
Yes, thank you for the invitation, first of all. It's really important, in my opinion, to keep on discussing and pushing this topic of disinformation on the agenda of the media itself, because it's not something that you would discuss one time and then, okay, let's move to the next topic, which is, let's say, same importance or even more. In my opinion, disinformation is the most important topic for media at this moment globally. Even if it's not a new phenomenon, it's actually has worse effects and outcomes than before. So yes, I fully agree with what Natalia said, first of all, and second, I think that global media is actually currently, I don't know if I should say struggling or trying, because there's a nuance difference, but let's say trying to handle the new situation. And of course, globally we have two types of media in terms of news production. I'm sorry if I categorize, but it's news agencies and the rest of the media. We have news agencies who have actually really grown in importance during the past years, starting with the COVID pandemic. And we have the other media who is more and more using the news provided by news agencies. This comes, of course, from various background situations like financial problems in the general media, lack of journalists, etc. But at the same time was accentuated during the COVID pandemic. That was the moment which actually, for our field, for news agencies, triggered huge opportunities. One of these huge opportunities was, in fact, the evolution of the fact-checking activities of news agencies. Fact-checking is something which has been done by news agencies forever. We usually did that as part of our day-to-day jobs. Now it has developed into a business model even. It has developed into something which is actually vital to society. I'm going to give you two examples to maybe better understand the difficulty in tackling disinformation for the two categories of public which are actually the same in the same way influenced. The media and the public of media, because we mustn't forget the public. Yeah? The first example comes from an American journalist from NPR, I think, National Public Radio. And some years ago, he tried to make an experiment on himself. He tried to listen to the Russia Today radio station or Sputnik radio station in America, and he tried to do it each morning while driving to work. After 2 weeks of doing this, he found himself questioning the realities which he had until then took for being the, let's say, normal. He found himself beginning to believe what those guys were saying on the propaganda radio. And then he decided that it should be the right moment to stop, because, of course, you cannot go too deep into the rabbit hole. This is actually proof that, unfortunately, no matter how experienced you are, no matter how educated you are, you can even be a media professional. If you are subjected to constant disinformation, you will eventually end up believing it. Now put yourselves in the shoes of the second category of people, the public, the wider public, who doesn't have media training, who doesn't have any, I don't know, special understanding of the media. They just watch TV over and over and over again, Russian TV in this case, and do they have any other options? Of course not, because we're not talking about people like you and me who are, let's say, younger, more open in exploring sources. We're talking about a huge category of maybe elderly people who have watched the same TV station for all of their lives. 60 years, they have been watching the same program, which maybe it was not feeding them the exact same propaganda because the priorities of the Kremlin must have changed in time, yeah? But there was still propaganda, they were accustomed to believing it. This is for you to imagine maybe what we are dealing with. This makes the importance of the two solutions which I might suggest even bigger. I think that you should not only train journalists, I think also the public desperately needs media literacy. This is up to the states to provide, this is up to European institutions, NGOs, whoever can do it, should do it. Because otherwise, the solution, which is already far away, would be almost impossible to reach. Yeah? So in my opinion, and to sum it up, I think that, yes, you really need media training for journalists to debunk fakes, to fact check, because this is one of the things for the future. But at the same time, you have to necessarily pay attention also to the public and actually train them in what it means to watch only one TV station for 60 years. Yeah.
Okay, suddenly Alex answered for all my questions. So I told you they are well prepared. Anyway, okay, you partly answered for the question, what is the role of